Okay, in my live class for my patrons, I just got done showing them how easy it is if you have a Cameo to make something like this with rhinestones in it. Easy peasy. And the easy thing about this is we are able to put a weeding box around these so that using the hinge method, we can get these lined up perfectly. These were the two images I cut out using the weeding box, and it lines up perfectly. We cannot do that in our Cricut machines, but I think I found a good workaround for us. So I'm just going to begin weeding this. And this is just a teeny weeny sample of a circle, as if I was going to put rhinestones in this. Two different colors. So what I've done was I added a diamond shape, as you can see right here, hopefully. Let's look and see. Well, I can't tell yet, but I hope you can see that diamond right there. So this is one of them. And since this is not sticky flock, of course, like I taught in my class, we'd use a temporary spray adhesive on the back of this before we started brushing rhinestones into this. So that's one weeded. Now let me weed this one, and let's see if my plan is going to work. So I'm going to just tear up that little spot right there and get it started. So what this is trying to line up two different colors of line. Oh, I tore that a little bit. Need to be careful and watch what I'm doing, but it'll still work, not a problem. I just was trying to be frugal with how much of my flock I used. So, all right, so that will still work just fine. Okay, I'm going to show you exactly how this will work. Now, mind you, we made these templates over in Silhouette Business Edition because we can use that for our Cricut machines. You can put rhinestones around any shape you want to over there. So I'm going to use emerald and aqua just for our sample today. So I'm going to get one of these templates and I'm going to bring it up here and just place it on my cookie sheet. I got this at the Dollar Tree. It works perfectly, just like that. And I need to get my little brush out. And again, this template was made in Silhouette Business Edition, and I'll have a link for it down below. And you can learn to do so much with this for your Cricut machine or your Silhouette machine. So I don't want really any rhinestones to go right in this little diamond. I can get them out. But so all you do is rub these around like this to get them in the little spaces where you want them. And if you rub them with your brush flat, they kind of bump up against each other and make each other go into the spaces that they should just perfectly. For the most part, every once in a while you have to drag some back to redo. So again, I'm just holding my fingers over that little diamond there because I don't really want that to get filled in with rhinestones. Okay, there it is. It's perfect. I have every one of those little spots filled in. Now what I'm doing is moving all my rhinestones off to the side. Make sure I don't have any down here. Nope, that looks perfect. So now I take this special transfer tape. This is not the same kind of stuff that we generally use for our work. This is special because it can be heated, because we'll be heating this with our iron or our EasyPress or regular press, and I shouldn't be talking while I'm doing this because I need to pay attention. So I got that down on there, and if I want to, I can just go like this to make sure they're on there. Then I just peel this up, and they should all stick. If one doesn't stick to the transfer tape, I can redo it. Then I just fold this back like this and put that piece of tape down there on my cookie sheet. The next thing I'll do is I'll bring over my other piece, and by the way, I already put sticky on the back of these, that stickum stuff. So now what I have to do is measure up or match this diamond up perfectly here, and as long as that's matched up perfectly, this is going to be perfect where my rhinestones go next. Okay, now I have this lined up perfectly because I lined up this little diamond that I cut out over there in Silhouette Business Edition. So I'm going to pour on more rhinestones that I think I need. Again, just cover up that diamond and just start going around and around in circles. so I can get the rhinestones to bump into each other and make each other go into the little spaces that I have there the way I need them to. So let's see how we're doing. I need a few down here. So you shouldn't really ever have to do any of them by hand. You should be able to do it all with this brush. Looks pretty good so far. This side looks good. Just have to be very gingerly touching this. So again, I need to go around my, oops, I'm missing one right there. Come on, here. Oh. So you just get a slew of them so they can bump into each other again to make each other turn over the way they're supposed to. That little spot was being contrary, but I got it. Okay, now I have to make sure that all these stray ones are out. I have a few strays over here, and a couple that got stuck on my transfer tape that I don't want there. Okay, so move these all out of the way, and then all I have to do is bring up this tape that I have from before, hold it straight up, and when I pull it out and come down, it should be perfectly aligned because of this little hinge I have here. And then what I do, just do this, pull it up and make sure they all come up nicely. And then this is ready to be taken over to my fabric to be ironed on, because that's all you do with these hot fix rhinestones is what they're called. This is ready to be ironed on my garment, just like I had ironed onto this garment and this one in earlier tutorials. So if I was doing something on this one, not lose my rhinestones, I would just put this right down on here and I would press it down according to the directions for using rhinestones. So that's it. It's as easy as that. Look up here at my screen for 1 second. So here we are in Silhouette Business Edition that's good for our Cameo or our Cricut machine. Right now I'll show you how we do the weeding box for the Cameo. All you have to do is come down here, if you have the Business Edition, to this little triangle and get this little pop-out menu and get the one that has the A and the B here. And if you'll notice it says Weeding Settings. So I would click on that and that brings up the weeding box. And you can have it set to off, or you can set it to a horizontal and vertical box. Notice that put that box right around there. Whoops, I didn't want to move that by itself. Let me undo that. So I could grab all of this together, and move it all. All right, so it's got the weeding box around it. So if I was going to make this, I would go to Send. And I want you to pay attention to what we see over here. First, it would come in as simple like this, and I just want it to be the cuts. So I'd highlight everything and say cut. Then the next thing I would do is I would go to the type of fill I want to cut. So right now, usually when you come in, everything is checked. But what I would do is I would check the blue one because I have the blue rhinestone area cut out, leave the weed line checked, and uncheck the green. So on my machine then it would cut out the weeding line and the blue circles. When that's done, I would leave the weed line still checked. I would check the green and uncheck the blue. So now all it will cut is the weeding box and the green. Now, let's go back again. To use that little tip I told you about just now for our Cricut machines, I would simply come over here to the little flexi shape area and get the little diamond shape. I found that I really like to use that a lot, or maybe the one beside it, but I'll get the diamond again. And I'm just going to draw a little diamond up here in the corner, just like that. And that's all I need to do. I could move it just a tiny bit further away if I wanted to. So notice I have these little blue lines. That's because the weeding lines are still on. So I'm going to go ahead and turn those off by coming down here to the diamond area again, or I mean the triangle in the lower right hand corner. Click on that, come to this, which is the weeding settings, and I'm going to say none. It doesn't really matter when I send it to Cricut Design Space because those won't even show up. Okay, I converted that to a path, and now I'm going to group all of this. And now I can tell exactly how big this area is. So it's 6.311. So maybe if I want to, I can just make it just a 6 and hit enter on my keyboard. All right. So remember, when you're in Design Space, you cannot change the size of your design with your rhinestones in it. You just cannot do that. You can only change it here in Silhouette. So what I'm going to do now is I have that highlighted. I'm going to go to File, Save Selections, Save to Hard Drive. And I'm going to save this as an SVG. You know, we need to do that for our Cricut machines. And I'm going to save it as Circle Rhinestone Registration. And we said it was 6 wide, right? 6.0 wide. So I'm just going to put that number in the name of it so I know how big to make it when I take it into Cricut Design Space. You just need to take the width or the height. I would just get used to taking the same thing all the time, and I usually take the width. So I'm going to say that and say OK. And now I'm going to come over to Cricut Design Space. I'm going to go to Upload, and I've already done one earlier. I did it with a star. I really prefer using the diamond instead. I'm going to upload an image, browse, and here it is, Circle Rhinestone Registration 6.0. Hit enter. And there it is, coming in beautifully. Save. And I'm going to upload it, or insert it, I should say. Saying it's quite large because every one of those little rhinestones is a different cut. And notice this. Look at the size it's coming in as in Cricut Design Space. We know that's not what we need. We need it to be 6.0 width. So I'm going to go ahead and change the width to 6.0 and hit enter on my keyboard. Notice the lock is locked, so it's going to change the height as well. Hit enter. And that's how big it's going to be. It's still coming in over here. So it came in small. Okay, so now it has gotten large. So what we would do now is do the same thing that I showed you before. Well, first we have to do one more thing. First thing I would do is I would take this group and duplicate it. Okay, and now after it's been duplicated, I'll pull one of them over here, and I'm going to ungroup it. And now I'm going to pull away the blue. And I'm going to get rid of the blue. And I'm going to regroup this back up right here. Oh, I don't want that one. I just want these and that diamond there. Okay, now I'm going to group that. I don't want to move that diamond at all. And I'm actually going to change the color of the diamond, so I probably should have done that first. So I'm going to ungroup this again. I'm going to click on just the diamond, and I'm going to change its color so it's the same color as that peace sign. Perfect. Now I'm going to grab the green and group. So just the green has been grouped. All right, now I'm going to do the same thing over here, but this time I'm going to pull away the green. Oh, I didn't ungroup that yet. I need to ungroup it first. And after it's ungrouped, of course, I'm going to pull away just the green. And I'm going to delete the green. Okay, so now I'm going to group this back together. And I believe I've already grouped this. So that's already grouped as well. So the only last thing I'm going to do is I'm going to say attach, because I want these to all stay exactly where they are when I go to cut them. Not sure why my Cricut machine is, or my Cricut software is running so slowly. Sorry, it's going to take longer. So I'm attaching this one as well. Okay, this right here is not a good side. I'm going to wait. I'm going to pause the video and hopefully this will come back. Okay, unfortunately, I went through the whole process again and it came to this point once again. So I'm just going to stop and not continue on with this part of the tutorial. But what I would do is I would just go to make it, and then these would cut out and it would end up just like it had in the very beginning of the tutorial, where I had the pieces cut out and I was able to line up the diamonds perfectly. So if you want to learn more on how you can use Silhouette Studio Business Edition for your Cricut machine, and you can get it to do so many more things, even though this looks like I'm having a real issue with design space, join me over at patreon.com, where I have lots of classes. They're very inexpensive compared to what I've seen other people charging, because I really want to get this information into your hands, because I really think it's game changing and you would be so happy to learn these other techniques and things that you can use for your Cricut machine. So that's why I'm trying to make my classes really, really affordable. I want you to be able to use your machine to the fullest with all that we can get it to do with Silhouette Business Edition, which works perfectly for the Cricut in Cricut Design Space, as long as we don't end up with one of these things. So, All right, thanks for joining me. Please give me a thumbs up if you like my videos. Subscribe. I'm trying to get my subscription level up to 20,000. And check out the links down below. Thank you very much. Bye-bye.